All right, going to start the show in just a few minutes. I need to make sure all my different social media has the fact that we are streaming live. We're going to be talking about some of the new events that have happened in Magic the Gathering lately. There's a ban list to talk about. There's some cards you can see right over here that we're going to talk about. This is all brought to you by scryfall.com. So if you go to scryfall.com, you can actually see all the different cards that I have listed here, and maybe you can follow along too if you'd like. But we'll be getting started in just a moment, so thanks for joining me, observers. And of course, please let me know if my sound is off, if my voice is breaking up, and all that other good stuff, okay? Thanks a lot, observer. Aleatory Guy's here. Welcome, Aleatory Guy. Do I think Blood Sun is really that OP? Uh, well, I mean, it's not really super OP as you might expect, but it allows other lands that did not have a chance to shine or were actually worse previously, such as the lands that made you bounce your lands before. They actually are a lot better now because they can come into play untapped and are able to use their 2 mana without having to bounce any of their lands. So I think it's a win for commander formats. For modern formats, I think it's going to be really good in a Tron deck, so that should be pretty good there as well. Thanks for the question, though. Probably. Let's see. Okay, we'll get started in just a moment here. Thanks for joining the chat. I'm just making sure everything is currently posted on all the different social media platforms that I have. This Twitch stream will be re-uploaded onto my YouTube channel, Riptide Pro Laboratory. I actually only need 2 more subscribers for my YouTube channel, and I can change the channel name into youtube.com/RiptideProLab. Right now, it's a whole mess of numbers and strings you might see down in the info boxes below. But if I can get that to change, then it'll make it easier for me to tell everyone else where you can find Riptide Project Laboratory on the internet. So I appreciate that. I've actually got a lot of subscribers that have showed up recently, which has helped the channel grow. And of course, I'm going to continue to upload more videos, including the streams that you see here, to the website, some games. I've got something special to go through today. We're actually going to use Cockatrice to brew up some decks, maybe see some of the current 5.0 decks that are currently on Magic the Gathering Online, check those decks out, do some quick run-throughs of those, so that way you'll get to see some Magic gameplay on the stream today. Plus, I've got some cards I'd like to look at from the various rivals of Ixalan, such as Aggressive Urge, you might see there. I also have a sweet City's Blessing foil token right there. So we've got a lot of stuff to cover today, and we'll get started in just a moment, and we'll go over all the stuff that we got on my itinerary. So let me check this out right here. Yes, I see some other people are playing currently. That's fantastic. All right. Going to my dashboard so that way I can manage the chat from my phone here. Hey now, got some cats going on, doing some stuff. Hey. All right, I took care of some cats. They were trying to fight each other, and that might be a little bit distracting during the stream, right? Okay. I also probably should update the list there in the info because I don't do the dramatic readings anymore. Though I could if people still want me to. I need to update that there. So thanks for everyone who has showed up to check out the Riptide Pro Lab stream. I appreciate all the people, especially from Reset Era. I know that a lot of people from there have checked out the Twitch stream channel there and followed me from there. There's tons of people that have started following my Twitch stream, so I appreciate everybody that has followed my Twitch stream this week and or last week. So it seems like we've got some more viewers here. We've got Benny Deuce, we've got LLR, MTG Judge. So welcome to you guys to the stream. We will be getting started in just a moment. I have a little setup video to play through. It's my RPL intro video, and then we'll go right into the discussion, and we'll get right to the heart of everything you want to know about Magic the Gathering or talk about this week. And you can go ahead and talk to me about it too. We'll respond to the comments as well. So we got to get this rolling here. So if y'all have any more questions for me, just let me know. I'll answer anything that might be that you might want to know about current standard, anything like that. Oh, there we go. So the chat now works on there, so I can actually monitor some other stuff during the streams. I've actually, I'm getting really good at setting up all the things I need to start streaming with. I've got the lighting set up. You can see everything is nice and good. I can appear great on the camera, but I also have a bunch of other setups that are going on multiple monitors, things like that. You can't see from my stream, from your streaming vantage point, but it helps me out for that way. That way I can show you guys different cards or stuff like that as well. So just let me get one more shot in here, and then we will start. All right, so if you got any questions about the current ban list or standard, anything like that, go ahead and post them in the chat. I will answer any questions you might have, especially about specific cards from Rivals of Ixalan. I will be showing off several cards that I currently own of Rivals of Ixalan. I don't know if I've actually added any of the rares that I have collected from my pre-releases. Ah, yes, I see. My wife, she is the one that actually sorts all my cards, and I really appreciate that she does that. And she has moved all my rares into our rare binder, so I can actually pull that out and show you the rares I'm talking about, or just list them on here. Probably on here, that way it's an easier way for you guys to see what I'm looking at. And I'll enlarge the cards too, so that way you can see all of the cards that I'm looking at as well. So let's go ahead and actually make these bigger. Oh yes, look at all these cards that we can look at here. Fantastic. This is now much larger, make it easier for us to view all the different cards in an easier to view format on the side here, right? That'll be fantastic. All right, so why don't we? Looks like we got a whole bunch of retweets that came in from our setup here. Let's do one more throw out tweet. I think we will be ready to get this on the road. All right, so everyone here, let's get started. Well, hello everyone. This is Laboratory Tech 13 here from the RIPTIDE Project Laboratory. Well, on today's Up and Up, we're actually live on Twitch, and we're going to be talking about several different things that have showed up in current news for Magic the Gathering. One of the things that I'd like to talk about today is the Magic the Gathering Rivals of Ixalan pre-releases that actually happened this last weekend. I attended several of them. I attended one at midnight. And then I also attended one 7 o'clock on Saturday, and then I attended another on Sunday at a much larger local game store that I have. And for the different format, I actually think it's a very interesting format. There are a lot of unblockable merfolk that are in the set that makes a lot of combos in the set pretty good. There are a lot of other different tribes that actually make the set a lot better than people think, and a lot better, in my opinion, than original Ixalan. So let's go ahead and take a look at some cards here, and we'll go ahead and show you some of the cards that I think are pretty good from the last pre-release that I did attend. And the deck that I had set up there was actually a white-blue deck using one of the cards that I did pull from my draft that I think you might enjoy, and it was Azor the Lawbringer. Now, you might say it Azor or Azor, but Azor the Lawbringer was the card that I opened as a mythic from my pre-release. Not the actual date stamped foil, but it was the card that I opened out of one of the Rivals of Ixalan packs when I was opening my packs for that setup there. This card is actually really good. The only problem is that most opponents, if they know that you're having Azor and that it's going to come out, they will try to hold on to their removal to get rid of this card. So, if you don't know what Azor the Lawbringer is, and you're just listening to the audio of this on YouTube or what have you, Azor the Lawbringer is a 2 generic, 2 white, and 2 blue mana creature, so that's 6 mana total. Legendary creature Sphinx, 6/6, flying. When Azor the Lawbringer enters the battlefield, each opponent can't cast instant or sorcery spells during that player's next turn. So, already you can see, in Commander, if you cast Azor or get away to blink Azor, which happens quite often in white and blue colors, you can get it so that the opponent can't cast their sorceries or instants during their next turn, giving you a chance to cast his next ability, to activate his next ability, which is whenever Azor attacks, you may pay X white and 2 blue. If you do, gain X life and draw X cards. And that's actually a fantastic ability on there because that is actually Sphinx's Revelation. If you would like to take a look here, I will show you Sphinx's Revelation, which is a card that has been printed from actually in Modern Masters, if you can see here. But other sets that it showed up in, the previous set that it showed up in was Return to Ravnica, and that's where most people really like this card, right? Sphinx's Rev has been one of the most beloved cards in Magic because of the fact that as an instant, you can gain a bunch of life that can help you not die. And you can also draw a whole mess of cards. And that's what people really enjoy doing in Magic is staying alive, staying alive, and drawing a bunch of cards. So putting this on Azor himself, while also being quite flavorful, is a fantastic way to get people to really want to build a commander deck around him so that he gets to flicker in and out, say with Conjurer's Closet. Let me go type that up here so you can see what Conjurer's Closet does. Conjurer's Closet, which is 5-mana artifact. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. So you can keep flickering in Azor. Well, that's at the end step. So at least past the first turn, if you can keep flickering him, the opponents basically can't cast instants and sorceries for the rest of the game until at least your turn, right? And I believe that will be a fantastic. I will believe that would be part of the deck that you will want to use with Azor himself. And of course, Azor is quite powerful as a 6/6 flying creature, so you will be able to get lots of use out of attacking opponents with flying being the evasion that you have on the creature. All right? Okay, so back to the pre-release. I got Azor, and I decided to build a white-blue deck around several different cards here. I'm actually taking a look at the cards myself that I have in my hand. I got a lot of blue merfolk that I wanted to use with the deck, a lot of evasive stuff. Some really good cards like Martyr of Dusk that I used here. I also used, let's see, some good removal that had showed up. Slash of Talons. We've got Raptor Companion. We had Sky Marcher Aspirant right here, which is a great card that flies. Oh wow, we actually have a new subscriber, Stuffin' Muffin. Thanks for subscribing, Stuffin' Muffin, or at least following. I think it was a follow actually. So thanks for following. Yes, and I appreciate it. You might be from Reset Era, so if you are, thank you very much. But if you are just a new person checking out my stream, we'll definitely check back because I will be streaming more often. And if you like talking about Magic the Gathering, this is the place to do it. All right. So let's see. We've got a couple different viewers here. So welcome to the stream. This is my Up and Up stream that is going on right now. We're talking about the latest that is going on in Standard. Right now we're talking about some of the pre-release cards that I opened and what I was rolling with in the pre-release. But we'll also be talking about the current Standard ban list. We'll also be talking about what Standard is doing right now post-ban list, which is quite interesting because Wizards of the Coast has printed lists of what is going on with the ban list. Plus, we'll also be brewing up some of our own stuff using the Cockatrice setup here. And I would do it on Magic the Gathering Online, but unfortunately I don't have enough money to gather all the cards needed for online. And there is a beta, but I do believe you can't stream the beta of Magic the Gathering Online, so I can't do that either. So we'll just do a little bit of streaming a different way. We'll do a little bit of brewing a different way, and that should be fun there too. All right, so yeah, back to the pre-release. I had the white-blue deck. I had those different evasion cards, and it was actually a decent deck. Lots of creatures that are unblockable from the Merfolk. Let me go ahead and show you a couple here. Go ahead and scroll to the list here. So some of the Merfolk that I used that were unblockable included. Get up to the blue here. Black. There we go. All right, so we didn't have Silvergull Adept. We had Sworn Guardian. That's a decent blocker. We also had not River Darter. We actually did also get Nezahal Primal Tide, the Elder Dinosaur, Blue Elder Dinosaur. So that actually went into the deck with Azor. Didn't get to cast it all that often, and that's a problem in pre-releases, is that you get creatures that are just too expensive, like these dinos. Now, I imagine other people opening Galta could play that. But I do believe once you get these cards and you just windmill slam that on the table, it's really hard for the opponent to get rid of it. And especially with Nezahal, he gains you a lot of value if the opponent is playing non-creature spells. And you can save it if you discard 3 cards. So beyond that, I got some other blue creature cards like Mist Cloaked Herald. Like that one. Can't be blocked. 1 mana, 1/1. 1 blue mana, sorry. It's a 1/1 that can't be blocked. And this card is actually really good because if you put any sort of auras on it, for example, the Sea Red or the blue Curious Obsession, or various other auras that you can slap onto this card, it will actually improve this card's value in combat because you'll be able to get through, deal some damage, and they won't be able to block it or remove it. And the removal in the set isn't really all that great, so you can pretty much assume that people will be able to get through with your merfolk through the combat, right? That's something that will definitely happen. All right, and what other cards did I get? I got Kumena's Awakening, which lets you draw an additional card. If you have the City's Blessing, only you draw the card, except for both players drawing a card. I had Kitesail Corsair, you can see here. Some other various cool cards like Expel from Araska, Crashing Tide, which lets you draw a card, so it helps replace itself. So there's lots of really cool stuff that I got with this deck, and I built it because I really wanted to play with Azor. And I was able to get it out a couple times, but the deck was kind of wishy-washy, like up against really powerful synergistic tribal decks like vampires or some good dino decks. It didn't really do that well. So what I did was I actually had some decent cards in red, black, and green. That's Jund, and I built a Jund deck as well, and it actually worked quite well as a sideboard deck where I was able to bring in the Jund deck when I didn't play with the white-blue deck, and I was able to evaluate which deck would do better against my opponents. So that whole day, I actually went 2-2 with those decks. I ran into an absolutely exceptional white-black vampires deck that really had everything you could ever want for white-black vampires, and with Zatalpa, which I'll show you at the top end. Zatalpa, Primal Dawn, is the Elder Dinosaur for white, because there's one in every color in Rivals of Ixalan, and Zatalpa is 6 and 2 white for a 4/8 flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. And once that hits the board, it's actually really, really, really hard to deal with this creature. The removal in the set doesn't go to exile that often, and you have to save your pacifisms for it. You have to save your special removal for it. And as an example, I had, let's see, I had Water Trap, I believe is what it's called. Yes, Water Knot, actually, Water Knot. And I used this card to lock down a lot of creatures, but unfortunately, by the time I played the opponent who had Zatalpa, I didn't realize that I needed to save this card for it, because I hadn't seen it until the end of the game, which was, of course, pretty good. And he was able to actually cheat it out, I believe, with some creatures that reduce dinosaurs, reduce their casting. All right, so let's go ahead and go on to the next bit that we'll go ahead and talk about today. So I already talked to you about the pre-release. That was actually a fantastic pre-release. Let me know what you think about your pre-releases. How have you done in your pre-releases? Either in the chat or in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. I really appreciate any sort of interaction I can get with my observers, because that way we can talk about more that you want to talk about, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and go on to the next part here, where we will talk about, let's see, let's go ahead and talk about the latest with the banning and the standard bans. I'm sure you've probably heard about this by now, but if you want to check it out, I'm actually going to look it up right here. I'm going to put it up on the screen. We'll talk about it. So, what happened yesterday? Wizards of the Coast banned some stuff. I'm actually scrolling through the Magic the Gathering subreddit right now. And that's another thing we have to talk about, too. We'll also open that up. We'll talk about the bannings that happened as soon as we can get to it. Well, let's see, where is it? Ban list update. Come on, where is it? I'm sure it's here. Okay, I got it. Apologies for the late timing, but here we go. All right, January 15th, 2018, banned and restricted announcement. Worth noting that they hardly ever restrict cards anymore. Most of the time it's just outright bans, because restricting cards, I think, is something that they don't want to do. because they want to not be unclear about what is banned, what is restricted, and restricting cards is just rare. It's really rare. So before we start talking about this, let's get some music set up here. I actually have some music in the background that we can listen to while I'm talking. Okay. So, all right, what do we got here? Well, we've got announcement date January 15th, 2018. Attune with Ether is banned. That's in standard. Of course, these are all in standard that I'm reading thus far. Now, Attune with Ether is probably the card that almost everybody that the pros, including myself, not really pro, but I mean, professional or competitive Magic the Gathering players would assume get banned. And Attune with Ether being banned is huge because Attune with Ether was the card that basically gave you 2 energy. I can even hover over here and you can see it if it shows up. But Attune with Ether was the card that gave you 2 energy, and it also lets you search out a land. So it helped you mana fix. You would start your setup with wow, this is actually, sorry about that. You would start your setup with turn 1 forest, play Attune with Ether, go search your library for the land you needed, just in case whatever your opponent was playing. You could see, like, if they had a creature out already, you could do that and go get red for Harness Lightning, or various other setups, so that way your next turn would be basically, you'd have no stumbles. And a lot of decks have stumbles, and Attune with Ether decks basically had no issue with that at all. And of course, the extra 2 energy, you could immediately pump that into a Longtusk Cub that you played. You could pump that into some other creatures later down the line, Bristling Hydra at all. It was just a easy way for people to get the energy they needed to power the cards they needed. All right. Okay, so the next card we're going to talk about, Rogue Refiner, is banned. Now this one is actually a lot of people thought that it would be Ether Hub first before Rogue Refiner, and looking at it myself, I actually was on the money here. I did a prediction a week ago on Twitter saying that Rogue Refiner and Attune with Ether are on the list to get banned, and Attune with Ether is 100%. Pretty sure that card was gone. Rogue Refiner, I'm pretty sure that card then was the next card to be gone because it is a 3/2 creature. So if you don't know what Rogue Refiner does, let's go ahead and look it up here. Rogue Refiner is a 3/2 creature for 1, a green, and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card and you get 2 energy. So not only is it a 3/2 creature, meaning it trades well with almost every creature in the format beyond 3 mana, or under 3 mana and under, it replaces itself, draws you a card advantage, gets the 2 energy, also an advantage, because now you can sink that 2 energy into your Cub, you can sink that energy into your Refiner, you can sink that energy into your Virtuoso. You can do so much with this card, and it enabled tons of stuff. Shout out to Scryfall for giving us the extremely high quality cards that you can see on the stream right now. So I appreciate that, and allows people to see all the really sweet art on the cards, especially banned cards, alright? Alright, so let's go ahead and go on to the next card here. Look at this, we've got Rampaging Ferocidon is banned. Huh? What? Rampaging Ferocidon? A lot of people have actually had that reaction to the card getting banned. And Rampaging Ferocidon... Right. I did. Alright, fantastic. Rampaging Ferocidon, as you can see here, is a 2 and a red creature that is a 3/3 menace. Players can't gain life, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. Worth noting that this creature is not legendary, meaning that multiples of this creature will shock an opponent every time they make a token. So, token strategies, especially Merfolk and Vampire strategies, were explicitly shut down by the Ramanop Red deck. And what surprised a lot of people is they'd learned that Ramanop Red was actually the deck that was the boogeyman of the format. It's extremely fast. It's extremely hard to get around if you're not prepared for it. And if you're trying to play any other sort of token deck or life gain strategy, this shuts that down permanently. And there's really, and for those decks, it's really hard to get rid of this card, especially because at that point they might already be at 8, or they might already be at 5, and then this comes down, and then it makes it hard for them to come back or even have any sort of counterplay. So they removed this card because they wanted to remove the ability of these token decks to not flourish, and especially because Rivals and regular Ixalan bring in token strategies for these decks coming forward, it means that these decks will have an easier time without Rampaging Ferocidon messing them up. All right. So beyond that, we actually have the next card, which is Ramunap Ruins is banned. Look at that! Wow. Okay, so Ramunap Ruins, of course, is the centerpiece of the Ramunap Red deck. And it's interesting because Ramunap will actually get changed over into just a red deck, probably. And as you can see here, Ramunap Ruins is a land desert. Tap to add a colorless to your mana pool. Tap, pay 1 life to add red to your mana pool, which red pretty much didn't care. They were trying to kill you faster than they got killed, right? And then 2 and 2 red, tap, sacrifice a desert. It deals 2 damage to each opponent. Now, a lot of people they're okay with this card getting banned. I think the Ramunap red deck basically getting shut down or removed from the format. Now there will be a red deck win deck still out there, but I think that deck will actually transition into red-white because there's a card that's very similar to Ramunap Ruins that they printed in Rivals of setups of the new enchantment cycle. And that one is, if I can get to it, not Journey to Destiny, not Hadana's Climb. I don't even remember what that one is called. Not Storm the Vault. Oh, what is it called? We're actually looking through here. Come on. Is it not on this list? No, Path of Metal. There it is. Path of Metal. Alright? And Path of Metal here is the legendary enchantment that's red-white that says when it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each creature that doesn't have First Strike, Double Strike, or Vigilance, or Haste, which a lot of the red-white deck can pack into their deck so that they won't have to worry about having their creatures die. But beyond that, when you attack with at least 2 creatures that have First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance, and or Haste, transform it. And when you transform the card, it turns into Metzali, Tower of Triumph. And Metzali, Tower of Triumph is a legendary land that says tap and 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, 1 and a red, tap, deals 2 damage to each opponent. So already right there, that's Ramunap Ruins' ability, except it's cheaper. So if you can flip Path of Metal into Metzali, Tower of Triumph, you can do that. And then of course it has an other ability that a lot of people are really excited for, which is 2 and a white, tap, choose a creature at random that attacked this turn, destroy that creature. Now, if you can destroy their other creature that attacks this turn and leave only 1 creature behind, even if they only attack with 1 creature, you can use this ability and kill that creature. So it sets up ways that you can force big creatures to go away, or you can force other people's creatures that they've been using to attack you with to also go away, which is really good. It's very good card. I actually am really excited to try out this enchantment in my red-white deck, which is a red-white artifact deck, vehicles deck, not vampires. So I'm really interested to see how this works. Okay. All right. So that is the rest of the list for the ban list. You can see right here, there's 4 of them. The effective date of the banning is next Friday. So if you go to F&M, make sure to take out Tomb of Aether, Rogue Refiner, Rampaging Ferocidon, and Ramunap Ruins. I actually have a deck right here that I played not for the Store Championship of Ixalan. I actually played it for probably the Friday Night Magic after, and of course I have Rogue Refiners in it. I've got Tomb with Aether, but I mean the deck itself wasn't a standard energy deck. It was just an energy deck that used my favorite card that I actually enjoy. One of my favorites actually from Kaladesh, which is Electrostatic Pummeler. And using this as an Electrostatic Pummeler deck was actually quite good, but now I have to take this deck apart. So, you know, it's what we got to do, right? You always have to change your cards based on what's coming out. Okay, so of course, I welcome any new viewers to the chat, to the Riptide Pro Lab stream. We are in the middle of doing our Up and Up stream right now, and we've just gone over the banned and restricted announcement. We also went over the pre-release that I did last weekend, so if you missed it, you can always check it out on YouTube. I will be uploading this later, so you can check it out and see what you may have missed. Anyway, let's go ahead and go on to the next part then. I really appreciate all the observers watching the stream. Magic the Gathering Diversity, thank you for watching the stream. N Squared, thank you for coming and watching the stream. I really appreciate everybody checking me out. Make sure to subscribe on my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'm only 2 subscribers away from changing the name of the channel, so that way it'll be easier for people to find Riptide Pro Lab on the internet, okay? Alright, so, observers, why don't we go ahead and go on to the next announcement that Wizards actually brought out, which was Core Set 2019 release date change. Now, this is actually quite a curious thing. Their 20th anniversary of Magic the Gathering is this year. I myself have played Magic the Gathering for over 15 years, so I have a lot of experience. And people, they're really excited. It says, look, it's our 25th anniversary and the return of the core set. You can excuse us for getting a little excited. So excited, in fact, that we're moving the release date of Core Set 2019 up a week to July 13th, 2018. It was previously announced as July 20th, 2018. So a week extra, I guess they're just really excited about putting the set out. Maybe they want more time in people's hands. Maybe they want more time for people to play it in the summer. Who knows? I mean, I'm extremely excited for core sets because I do believe they even though they probably don't sell very well, they have a space out there for people who know that, you know, this is a jumping on point. If you haven't played Magic in a while, come to the core sets. It's going to be simpler Magic that people can play without having to worry about a bunch of extra triggers and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are really interested in that. And of course, the open house will be June 30th. The pre-release weekend will be July 7th. Draft July 14th. Magic Online launch that same week. And then on sale, Magic Online July 13th. So the other updates for the Store Championship, which is a core set Store Championship, is very interesting. And the 25th Anniversary Pro Tour, August 3rd through 5th, remain unchanged. All right. Well, that's actually quite some interesting news to go through, observers. I'm glad you guys stayed around and helped me take a look at it. We'll actually go back to the list of the Rivals of Ixalan cards here. We can talk about a couple more cards that I think will be interesting in Standard, and then we'll go ahead and go on to our next section where we will check out some decks from the latest 5.0 records that Wizards of the Coast put out, and we'll do a little bit of brewing maybe. We'll do a little bit of brewing, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about, oh, look at this one right here. Profession? Yes, look at that card. All right. A lot of people are talking about this card, especially in Limited. 3 mana, 1 white and a black, if you're listening on YouTube. Legendary enchantment. 3 a white and a black, exile target creature. Then if there are 3 or more cards exiled with Profane Profession, transform it. And so when you transform it, it turns into Tomb of the Dusk Rose. Tomb of the Dusk Rose is a legendary land that transforms from Profane Procession, as you can imagine. Tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, 2 a white and a black. Tap, put a creature card exiled with this permanent onto the battlefield under your control. So you can take their best creatures, and then you start popping them back out, so that way, you know, if they aren't attacking with their creatures, you could just eat them up and bring them back. And I actually really like this because you can also eat your own creatures if you want to this along to get to the other side, right? Because it doesn't have to be their creatures. It could be your creatures. You could exile Gonti. You could exile Yahenni. You could save your own creature basically from board wipe if you want to do it this way, and eventually get them back if they don't destroy the enchantment. What I like most about this is that using this with Legion's Landing, which is also a fantastic card in the deck, which if you're playing this inside of a vampire deck, you will also flip this to the other side, which turns into Adanto the First Fourth. So if you have Profane Profession switched over into Tomb of the Dusk Rose, and you have Adanto the First Fourth, you have a setup where you can activate Adanto's ability if they're not going to do anything, if they're not going to attack you or whatever with a creature, or use the Tomb of the Dusk Rose to eat their creature. The other side of Profane Profession to eat their creature, and then later keep playing creatures that you exiled back onto the battlefield, which seems really good because what I would do is I would exile the Scarab God and bring that one back. That seems really good, right? Exiling the Scarab God and bringing it back, that seems really good. All right, so we've gone ahead and talked about that card. So let's go ahead and talk about, let's actually transition over into our next segment where we will be talking about the 5-0 decks. So we're actually going to use Cockatrice for this because we don't have our Magic the Gathering online account set up. Wizards, if you want to help me out with a Magic the Gathering online account. I'll be streaming it for you if you do. I actually have an account, but I don't have any money on the account to get the cards, and I'm a little bit tight for cash at the moment. But if Wizards, you can help me out, that would be super sweet. Of course. Anyway, let's go ahead and set up here onto the Cockatrice. We'll do a quick transition there into that as well. So let me go ahead and get everything set up here, and then we'll do the transition into that. And I appreciate people coming and checking out the stream. I've had a lot of new viewers today. You guys are going to help me out with making a Twitch affiliate. Maybe someday Twitch partner, right? If we can get other people watching the stream. So let's transition to our Cockatrice setup here. You can see we've got it already set up with the list of cards from Standard. I'm actually going to go look up the 5-0 setup here from Wizards of the Coast, and we will put some cards in and we'll test out some decks. We'll see how these decks work. Of course, you can watch any of the other pros play this on stream if you'd like, but I'm actually going to set up a setup here where the deck tests itself or will be tested using various other cards. So we'll be on that in just a moment. As always, stay watching, observers. Thank you for watching RIPTIDE Project Laboratory stream of the Up and Up live. I might actually do Up and Up live every week this way, so that way we can talk about cards or various things that are happening in the Magic the Gathering community. Oh, before we get started on this, let me just talk about one more thing, which is the Great Designer Search 3. If people haven't actually got into that, well then I'm sorry because it's already started. But if you are in the Great Designer Search 3, good luck to you. The stuff they will ask you and various other things that you will have to do for that will become harder and harder as time goes on, and that you're in that, and I hope everyone can make the rounds that they wish to make or are selected by Wizards of the Coast, alright? So let's go ahead and I'm going to look up the list here of the 5-0 decks, which I'm sure I have it in my history somewhere. Competitive, I think I found it. Competitive, Standard, Constructed, League, standings that were posted today. So these are totally fresh standings that you will see here. Okay. Oh, we actually have Fagwent while watching the stream again. Hello, Fagwent. I saw you last time. I appreciate you coming to check out the stream. So let's go ahead and set up some more streaming. Let's do a little quick tweet right here to get some more streaming to go on. Okay, so now that we got that out, we've got, let's see, we've got some decks here that we want to put into Standard. So the first deck list that we want to look at here is, we've got, oh yes, we actually have a black-green list by Nathan Stewart. So let's go ahead and name this right here, Nathan Stewart. Black-green counters, I'm assuming is what it is. We won't put the question mark there. Let's go ahead and download that deck list. We've got it. You want it. We're going to put the deck list into our list of decks here and load it up. All right, there we go. We've actually got it in here. It's got the full 75, so we're going to have to figure out what is sideboard and what is not. That should be pretty easy. There's one Fatal Push. We've got 2 Golden Demise. I'm pretty sure the Duress is not main board. Yeah, that goes in there. What else do we got in the sideboard here? Lifecrafter's Bestiary, Silent Gravestone. Silent Gravestone seems to be the card that people are trying to play against Scarab God. I actually think Sentinel Totem might be better. I mean, I just think it'll be better anyway. What other cards do they have on the sideboard here? Vraska's Contempt, of course, more removal for the Scarab God. Let's see, what other cards do we have here that should go in the sideboard? One more card needs to go in the sideboard, and I'm assuming it's Sky Sovereign. Yep. Okay, so we've got the list here. Check this out. We've got 2 Aether Sphere Harvester, 4 Glint Sleeve Siphoner, 4 Jade Light Ranger, 3 Merfolk Branchwalker. Change the list here so you can see the cards bigger. 4 Ravenous Chupacabra. This card is actually one of the most divisive cards that have been added to the current standard, and the reason why is because it is extremely recurable with the Scarab God, meaning the value you get out of this card will be insane. Being able to destroy any creature on the battlefield means there's a way you will be able to always kill someone and get the card. We might actually do some online play of this deck too. Show some online. We've also got Rishkar, Pima Renegade, Verdurous Gearhulk, Walking Ballista, Winding Constrictor, Blossoming Defense, Fatal Push, Aether Hub, Blooming Marsh, Forest, Foul Orchard, Haship Oasis, Swamp, and that's the full list of the deck itself. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here by testing out the deck, right? So we'll save the deck so that way it saves correctly in our list here, and let's go ahead and go start a local game. We want to know how this deck works, right? So let's go ahead and load up the deck. Okay, got all the deck list right here, ready to start. Okay, let's do some shuffling. Draw our first hand. Oh, look at that. You can actually see we have drawn 2 swamps with a Glint Sleeve Siphoner, a forest. Oh, with Rishkar. That's actually pretty good. And a Merfolk Branchwalker. This is actually a really good hand starting out here. So let's go ahead and play the swamp here. Turn 1. We'll drop that out. We'll go ahead and pass to the end of our turn. Now it's our turn again. Draw a card. And we'll play Forest. We'll play Merfolk Branchwalker. Okay, so let us take a look here. I feel like we should probably get a little better setup here with Cockatrice here. So let's do some quick editing here. Because you want you to be able to see more of the game, right? You don't really need to look at the extra stuff on top. There we go. Alright, there we go. That's a better setup, right? Everybody can see more of the game. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the game. We've got Merfolk Branchwalker out. We're gonna do the Explorer, okay? Reveal the top card of our library. It's Verdurous Gearhulk. We'll decide to... Oh yeah, I think we'll definitely leave that one on top. So we'll put that one back on top. We'll give this a counter. Power and toughness will go up by 1. And we got a 3-2, everybody. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and go to the next turn. We'll untap, upkeep, draw, play land. Let's see, we'll wait. Well, I don't know if we want to wait first. I really like being able to play this. So let's play Rishkar. We'll put a counter on the Merfolk Branchwalker, and we'll put another counter on the Rishkar himself. So Rishkar can tap for mana, Merfolk Branchwalker can tap for mana. That seems pretty good, right? Now Rishkar here is actually going to be really good because every creature that has a counter on it will now tap to add mana to my mana pool. Plus, we'll actually have mana next turn because we didn't draw any land to potentially play a Verdurous Gearhulk if they don't kill our creature. Right? That seems pretty good. I think this deck is actually really good, and I want to try this out in an actual game. So why don't we go ahead and find an actual standard game where we can play this against someone online, okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and connect to the server here. Take a look at all the people here that we've got. Okay. Let's see if we've got some standard here. Yeah, we can join this person and play some standard. Say hello to the people that are there. Load our decks in. Let's see if we can get a good standard game here going, alright? Ready to start. Alright, they were already ready to start too. So let's go ahead and get this started here, everyone. We'll do some rolling here. I think it's Control I to do rolling. I also rolled a 5. They rolled a 5, I rolled a 5. Oh, okay. I rolled a 3, so they will be choosing who goes first. They will play. I will also shuffle my library and draw my hand. Oh, look at that. We actually have 2 forests, a Jadelight Ranger, and a Winding Constrictor, and a Blooming Marsh. So we might be able to do this. Jadelight Ranger seems really good. I think I want to keep this as well. Okay, so they're going to play Botanical Sanctum, then they're going to do End, and they'll pass. So it's my turn. I will draw a card. Oh, I have to go to the draw, then main. Let's see, what do I play first? Blooming Marsh and then pass? Alright. So now it's their turn. They're going to play Botanical Sanctum. Oh, or they played a Forest. So it's now my turn. I'll untap, upkeep, draw. Go to main. I think what we want to do is see. If they're playing Botanical Sanctum and Forest, what are they doing? Well, we're going to play a Forest ourselves, and then we're going to tap those two, and we're going to play Winding Constrictor, okay? And then we'll go to the end, and they can pass to them. Let's see what's going to happen here. They put a Forest out. Tap for 3. Is that a Jadelight Ranger? Oh, it's Growing Rites of Itlamok. They're going to look at the top 4 cards. They're going to see what they draw. They put Walking Ballista from the stack into their hand. Interesting. Very interesting. So this is a blue-red deck. Okay, so it's now my turn. I will untap, upkeep, draw a card, go to the main. Well, this turn I think we need to come out the gate strong. So I think we want to do Jadelight Ranger. So let's go ahead and drop a green. And I think what we want to do is, yes, we want to play Jadelight Ranger. So we're going to play Jadelight Ranger. And we're going to explore. Rishkar's on top. Keep on top twice. So that means that Jailer Ranger gets 2 counters every time. So Jailer Ranger's now 6-5. And then we'll go to the combat. We'll put 4 counters on there. Okay, so we hit for 2 damage, and then we go to end combat, second main, and then end. Now it's their turn. Let's see, what are they going to do with Growing Rights here? So they got that out. They're going to play a bunch of creatures. Ah, they also played their own Jade Light Ranger. And they put that in the graveyard. And then Tender Shot Dryad, they're going to leave on top. Tender Shoot Dryad. Ooh, it's the Tender Shoot Dryad deck. This is quite interesting. And then they'll put the Forest in play, and they also have a 4/3. So I will now take my turn, untap, upkeep, draw. Oh, wow, okay. So we've got Swamp here. We'll play that. Now, what do we want to play here? Oh, we've got so many options. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap for 3, and we're going to play Rishkar. We'll add 2 counters here. And then we'll add 2 counters here. And then we will enter combat. Swing with both of these creatures. They will block. End combat, second main. And then we'll go to the end. Alright, so we've got a huge creature we're beating in with Observers. So we might actually do this. And this is actually making me want to just get it on Magic the Gathering Online anyway. You play a Tender Shoot Dryad and then you pass. Okay, so untap, upkeep, draw, go to main, play Hash Up Oasis. He's got a Sapling, he's got a Dryad. I think we just want to go crazy and play Verdurous Gearhulk. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then we'll go to combat, attack. We'll get in with these. Oh, look at all that damage. Whoa. He blocks with 1 creature. Oh, wow. We are just beating in there. Observers, we're getting in there. We're doing this. Yeah, this deck is really good. No wonder this 5-0 to League, right? So let's see what happens now. They've got Growing Rights. They've got Tender Shoot Dryad, but I'm not sure this is going very well for them. They've got, what, 4 life left, 2 cards left in hand. I've got 3 cards. That's Walking Ballista. That's going to be really hard to kill my big creatures, Observers. So I don't think this is going to work for them. Okay, so they go to end step. They have City's Blessing. That means their Saplings are bigger. And now we have, ooh, Ravenous Chupacabra. We just opened. That's bad beats for my opponent. I'm really sorry. Ravenous Chupacabra. We're gonna draw an arrow to that. Oh yeah, we want to kill the Tender Shoot Dryad. Now it makes their vampires, or sorry, their Saplings are now 1/1s again. Which we'll go into start combat, attack. We'll attack with everything, because why not? Oh yeah, Sid Lamont can make a bunch of counters. So it makes 4. Puts counters. So now I win. Let's go on to the next game. Let's unlock the sideboard here. So he knows what he's playing against with now. Fatal Push seems like a good card that we should keep in here. Yeah. Let's see what we want to sideboard in here. So we know they've got a lot of creatures that are working here. I really want to play with Tetsamok, so let's put that in there. Take a Verdurous out. I think another Fatal Push seems really good here because they're having a lot of creatures that come out. So that means we should take away, I think, a a Jade Light Ranger might be better here. Flying doesn't seem to be really good either, so let's also do Golden Demise, because we might really get in there. So let's try this. This seems pretty good. Alright, so of course, they will decide whether to play or not. Ooh, they take a mulligan to 5. Wow. I actually kind of like this hand. This is a decent hand, observers. So I think, yeah. Alright, so they're ready to play. It's my turn. I untap, upkeep, draw, go to main. I think we just want to drop out a Foul Orchard and then pass. So let's do that. They're going to play Forest, tap for 2. Servant of the Conduit, that seems fine. Okay, so we can actually get rid of that. So we'll go to my turn, untap, upkeep, draw. We'll drop out an Ether Hub, get an energy. So what we'll do now is, I think we just want to kill it, right? So that way they don't ramp into something. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and do that. We will kill Servant of the Conduit. And then we will pass the turn. Go ahead. We're hoping to draw land, actually, here, Observer, so that way we can play Jade Light Ranger. I mean, if not, we can just play Merfolk Branchwalker. Alright, he's going to Growing Rights. Look at the top 4 cards. Jade Light Ranger, that's fine. We'll now untap and take our turn. We don't have a land, so we need to also kind of Jade Light here. We're gonna Merfolk Branchwalker. We'll put that into the graveyard, and then we will pass turn. We are missing a land drop. We are behind, observers. We are going to lose. What are they gonna play? Wild Growth Walker. Oh, that seems like a good idea. Ooh, that's a good combo. Oh, they only get a land out of that. But Wild Growth Walker does get a counter, so that's pretty good. And they gain 3 life, which is really, really good. Alright, so we'll untap, upkeep, draw. Still not drawing what we want. So it's pretty bad. So what should we do here? Well, we drew another Fatal Push, so let's go ahead and use that. And kill the Wild Growth Walker. That seems good. And then we'll enter combat. Alright, we'll block each other. That seems fine. So, that's what we got going on. Don't know exactly what's going on here, so we're going to try to make this work. It's really tough, though. It's really tough. We need land. Jade Light Ranger, here we go. Enter the Unknown. Ooh, yes, the blue-green Explore deck. Okay, so they've got that. That's the end of their turn. That creature is super big. Can we draw a land? No, we can't. We'll play Glintsleeve Siphoner, though. When it enters the battlefield, you gain an energy counter. And then we'll just end the turn. That's all we can do there. We need land. Come on, land. They're going to attack with their 4-2. Sure, I'll take 4. 4-3, sorry. And then it'll be my turn. Untap. Oh, they have the City's Blessing. 3, 4. No, they don't. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Really close. Upkeep, draw. Winding Constrictor. Oh, shoot. Oh, let me pay that 2 energy. Alright. Ether Hub. Get another energy. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Take a life off there. Yep, just remembering the triggers. So... what do we want to cast here? This is really rough. I think what we want to cast is... Ether Sphere Harvester? That seems... decent. Counter. 2 more counters to that. We can attack, and we can get a counter. It's got Menace. They'd have to double block. That seems pretty good. Combat. Yeah, this seems about right. They think that's exactly what we're going to do, observers. So let's go ahead and go to the main, and then we'll end, and we'll just flip it back over to them. Now that's dumb because I could have just, like, tapped the Harvester, but I mean, now their city's like, now we're going to get destroyed. I think they're gonna attack with 3/3s. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Oh wow, okay. Oh wow, it's Galta Primal Hunger. Okay, that seems like a lot of damage. Growing Rights, I think, flips at the end of turn? Yes. Oh, they get a... Wow, this... Yeah, okay. Deck's going off now. That seems pretty good for my opponent. Not even going to attack? Man, they just want me to have it. Alright. We'll go to main. Ah, shit. Draw card. There we go. Now we'll go to main. Okay. Wow, playing Walking Ballista does not seem good right now. Now, if we can get the Tender Shoe Dryad off the board quickly. Wow, that thing is 5 mana. That might help. We can play Ballista for 2 and do it. But Galta's coming at us next turn, and that seems pretty gross. But we have to hold out, right? So let's go ahead and drop Walking Ballista for 2. And I think we might just throw it at the Dryad right now? Maybe? Because they only got 1 card left, so... draw the arrow to the Dryad. I just want to kill it. Let's see if they understand what I'm doing here. Yep, they do. Okay. Alright, we'll just go to the end step and let him take his turn. This seems not very good. Thanks for watching, observers. I am testing out one of the 5-0 decks from the latest standard 5-0 leagues to see what is what. They just put another Galta into the graveyard? Yeah, because I'm pretty sure having a 12/12 on the board is all they need to take me down, right? Attack with Galta! Oh god. Yeah, we're going to crew it. And then we're going to remove the counter because we need to gain life. And then I'll take, what, 7 and gain 3. So it's 10. Wait, no. 8. Block 5 of it, meaning down to 8. Yeah. 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 Whew! That was a big hit. I don't know if we can survive the next hit. I'm pretty sure we can, so... I'm pretty sure we're dead, so let's go ahead and concede here. Alright, we can play a third. So, we definitely don't like Tetsamok right here. Well, maybe. It wasn't actually that bad. Duress seems like it'd be fun to pull out some other stuff, but Vraska's Contempt seems like a really good play here. So let's take those out, take the Blossoming Defenses out. They don't seem to be doing removal. And let's try this next. Okay. So, let's shuffle up. Do we want to keep that? Yeah, we'll keep that. Okay, so turn 1, we will drop a swamp, and then we will pass the turn. And I think we'll drop Aether Hub next turn. Ending phase, switch, my turn, untap, upkeep, draw. Main, Aether Hub, get an energy. Add a counter to it. We'll tap those two and we'll play Glint Sleeve, add another counter to it, and then we'll pass the turn. They will also play Aether Hub, get an energy, play Wild Growth Walker. Untap, upkeep, draw. Oh, upkeep, sorry. Main. Let's see. I think we want to drop this Blooming Marsh before we can't. And then let's drop. Oh shit, we can't do that. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Let's drop Winding Constrictor. That seems pretty good. Then we'll hit into combat. Swing in. I will gain an energy. Then we'll go to end step. Alright, so it's now their turn. Let's see what's going to happen here. Hopefully my deck will be better. I'm going to drop Jade Light Ranger whenever a creature you control explodes. Oh, wow. They just played a Ballista straight into my dude. Alright, then. Okay, now it's my turn. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. We'll drop a... We have double... We need double green, so let's drop that. We'll tap 3 and put out Jade Light Ranger. Put that in my hand. Put that in my hand. Wow. Double whiff. That was terrible. So, what we'll do here is not do much and go to end step. The rare double whiff. That's what we got. We got the rare double whiff. Growing Rights, that seems pretty good in that deck. I'm actually wondering if Growing Rights would not be too terrible in this deck either. Whiffs everywhere! Sign us up for baseball. Alright, so now we'll go to our next turn. Draw a card. We'll drop a swamp. Oh, what are we going to play here? We also could play Foul Orchard, but we need to get this creature out of the way. So let's go ahead and just play our Hungry Boy. Chupacabra, you know exactly what I'm targeting. I don't have to say it. Okay. Don't shell game me. Combat, we'll swing with the 2. And then we'll pass. So let's see what they can do from here. I don't know if they're going to come back from this. My board just seems pretty good right off the bat anyway. If they get some more creatures out of here. Conservative Conduit, that seems fine. Storm counter. Yeah. Alright, so we'll untap. Draw. We'll go to main. We'll drop out a Foul Orchard because we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7, 8, 9. Really close to City's Blessing, but we'll play Rishkar. We'll drop a counter onto then we'll go to combat and we'll swing with the 2. And we'll swing with all 3. Sure, why not? Then we'll go to end step. I think we might win this game, observers. I think we might actually win a game with this new deck. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop me coming in. So, yeah, J-Light Ranger. They get a creature. They're going to leave on top. No, they're going to put on the bottom. Oh, they're going to keep the J-Light Ranger. Yeah, get rid of the Merfolk Redhorn and keep the J-Light. Good games. Good games, sir. Good games. Tishana in hand. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Alright, so we left that game. That was actually a pretty good game, observers. I'm glad you guys could watch me take down the opponent in style on Cockatrice. That was quite exciting. So what it's going to make me want to do is, actually, because I really enjoyed playing that, I really want to play on Magic the Gathering Online, so I don't have to do all the triggers and stuff myself. So what we're going to do here is, after doing that, I think we're going to be done for the day. I really appreciate you guys watching the Up and Up and checking out the channel and stuff like that. But we are going to stop the stream. We've been streaming for about 2 hours now, or about an hour now actually, and we want to make sure that my cats can get food, and I might actually get this all set up on Magic the Gathering Online so that way you guys can watch me play with this deck. So I appreciate everyone watching the stream, and if you're on YouTube, thanks for watching our latest Up and Up live. We'll actually probably be doing this every Tuesday, and I have a stream coming up on Thursday as well, around about the same time, so about 8 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock, which we are going to continue building our Abolition EDH Commander deck. Mono Blue Cephalid Tribal Commander deck. You don't want to miss it, alright? So, thank you for watching, and as always, stay watching, observers.